In this segment, Skip and Shannon and Jim Jackson, they're going to talk about if, you know, should the 76ers be favored over the Cavaliers. But first, I would like to say this. The 76ers are having a great year. Should they be favored over the Cavaliers? I can't favor them over the Cavaliers simply because I have to see somebody beat LeBron James 4 games out of 7, you know, to believe that, because he has been to the Eastern Conference Finals, 7 straight years or something like that, some crazy number. So in the 76ers, this is their first, year since they had that so-called, trust the process. So what they was losing the last 5 or 6 years, they were able to attain, some high draft picks with Ben Simmons, Fultz, and Joel Embiid. So I want to see what they do in the playoffs. I can't really pick them over anybody, because none of them guys really, except for J.J. Redick and I think Ilyasova, have playoff experience. But let's see what they're gonna say about it.
Sixers won a thriller against the Cavs on Friday night, and they've now won 14 straight. We're joined by FS1 NBA analyst Jim.
Yeah, that was a good game, but Philly was up by 30 points. I turned away from the game because it was like 75 to like 40 something. I said, whoa, Philly finna blow them out. But they let the Cavs come back. To me, that's alarming. See, that's what you get when you get a young team. They don't know how to really put their feet on the other opponent's throat. You have to be able to put your foot on their throat and not let them breathe, choke them, and get them up out of there and blow them out. Y'all was supposed to blow them out. Y'all was at home. Y'all was supposed to finish that game. But see, that's what it shows. It shows you that a young team can be up and down, and they can lose their focus even within the game that they winning by 30 at home, even though Joel Embiid was out.
Jackson, welcome, Jim.
What's up, Jim Jackson?
Good morning.
Kind of miss you guys a little bit. Yeah, you MIA on us, Jack. I know, just working, fuss, make me earn that money. Nothing wrong with that.
Jim, how big of a threat are the Sixers to the Cavs?
Well, I think if you look at the regular season, they split it 2-2. But it's hard to really gauge because
I don't put a whole lot of stock, in a regular season, especially with a team like the Cavs, with LeBron James with all his experience. Yeah, a team may beat him, maybe 1-3 or 2-2, and then people say, "Oh man, look what they can do to them in the playoffs." Not necessarily, because my Chicago Bulls, about 3, 4, 5 years ago, when he was with the Miami Heat, the Bulls beat them 3 out of 4, and although a lot of Bulls fans were saying, "Well, they're gonna correlate into the playoffs," I knew from experience that has nothing to do with the playoffs, because the playoffs is a different animal. Guys are amped up. Guys know this is, do or die. You got to win 4 games. Everybody antennas go up. You have scouting reports on different players. You're going to have different defensive sets. You're going to have different offensive sets. So it's not going to be the same as the regular season. And you're going to have games where you can be able to rest. So the intensity is going to be high.
Both teams never really been healthy. Early on, they played some games. IT wasn't there. Tristan wasn't there before the trade. But post-trade, Embiid was out. So we saw the last game that Philly could be viable. But I think you got to take a step back a little bit, because to get to Cleveland and Cleveland to get to Philly, some state.
That's what I said. First of all, Philly has to be able to show people that they can win the playoff series, period. Now, it's no guarantee they're going to be able to get to the Cavaliers. No guarantee the Cavaliers, the way they're playing and performing this year up and down, that they're going to be able to get to 76ers. But, I see why they're having this discussion, because a lot of people are saying that the 76ers could be the best team in the East to give the Cavaliers problems. I think the 76ers are on a 13-game winning streak or some crazy number like that.
Because they got to go through. Right. You're talking about Philly right now is in the 3rd position. 3rd seed. They went to play.
You have teams like Washington and Toronto. Even though I don't pick those teams to beat the Cavaliers, those teams are more, and Milwaukee Bucks are more than capable of beating Philly.
Right. Who they split with during the course of the season. Miami poses a different threat because they like to slow the pace down a little bit. Okay.
Miami is a dark horse. Miami with Eric Spoelstra, Dwayne Wade is back coming off the bench. They got some pretty good players. They do play hardcore defense. Like he said, they're going to slow the game down. In the playoffs, the game gets slowed down. And it's not as much as running up and down and scoring a lot of points. You have to be able to execute. And that's when a young team can be hampered. That could be the Achilles heel to a young team, is being able to run your sets when the defense is, right there watching and seeing how you run your plays. And you know, players like LeBron James, you know, he's a basketball savant, so he understands and knows a lot of these team plays before they even call a play.
If Philly wants to get, so that could be an impediment a little bit for Philadelphia, a young team trying to figure out how to navigate through the playoffs. So before you can get to the Cavs, you got to go through that, and then potentially a Boston team who they should be able to beat because of injuries.
I don't think Boston will.
Yeah, they should be able to beat Boston, but Boston can still be, you know, dangerous. They still got some good pieces left on that team. Now, what Boston trouble is going to be, they don't have a closer. They don't have anybody who they can get a ball to and say, if you know, if it's like an 8-0 run, they can get a ball to somebody and say, hey, break this 8-0 run, or you know, in the latter part of the game when the game is like tied or you're down 1 or 2 or 3, get the ball to somebody and say, take us home. They don't have anybody like that. Jason Tatum and Brown will have to step up, and Rozier will have to step up and show that they can do it as a tandem.
Get out the first.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But let's just look at that first round. Let's say they get to the Cavs. I think they match up well. I think the question is, do they understand as a young team, you know what you don't know, okay? Because you get into a situation of really not knowing.
Yeah, the youth could be a plus for them in the sense that they don't know that they shouldn't beat the Cavaliers. They don't know to be leery of the Cavaliers. You know what I'm saying? They coming in with wide eye and bushy tail, you know, young squad. Most of the guys on that team are 25 and under. So they don't know not to be scared. So that could be a plus for them.
The environment of a 7-game series in the Eastern Conference Finals against a LeBron James team. That's a whole different animal. You know, if matchup wise, they got the physical tools. I don't think anybody for no.
Yeah, Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons is a nightmare matchup for any team in the East.
If Cleveland can do anything with Embiid, no. But the X factor is the mental aspect of.
But Embiid has to stay healthy. Right now, he's hurt.
This young team competing against a LeBron James team in a 7-game series Eastern Conference Finals.
Look, they go 7-2 Joel Embiid. They go 6-10.5 with Simmons. He's special. He's special. And now the way they're knocking down the three, because you gotta come. The Cavaliers are a very small team, and so when they dump the ball.
But I believe in the playoffs, teams are going to play off of Simmons and dare him to shoot the jump shot, because right now his jump shot is not developed. It's mediocre at best.
Down to Joel Embiid, you must come with the double team. Now they're knocking the 3-point shot down. J.J. Redick, Bellinari, Saric, Covington, Ilasovich can knock down the 3. So they're a very dangerous team, and I give them credit. I did not see this at the beginning. I thought they were going to be basically a 2-man team. I didn't see them, what they morphed into, say, the last half of the season. They've become a very viable 3-point shooting team. But the one thing that they don't have that we
Here goes Skip with his LeBron James.
do have, and nobody else has it, it's like the Louvre. Where's the Mona Lisa hanging?
Larry Nash Jr.
Where's the Mona Lisa hanging?
Larry Nash
We
But yeah, Shannon Sharp, he put on his LeBron James hat. But like I said, the 76ers will have they still have to get through other teams before they can get to the Cavaliers. They cannot be a threat to the Cavaliers until they, finish off the rounds that they have in front of them. They can easily lose in the first round because, like I said, being young, yes, it can help them, but it can also be an Achilles heel for them. So we'll have to see how they perform. We'll have to see how teams play Ben Simmons, defensively. Will they make him shoot the jump shot? I believe most teams will. If they're smart, they will. The kid has shown good vision. He can pass the ball. He's averaging 8 assists. So make him a passer or make him a shooter. So we'll have to see what happens, man. But like I said, the 76ers are an up-and-coming team. To me, they have the best 2 young players in the East. So them, Boston, the young teams that's coming up. I got my Bulls in there if they make the right moves and they have 2 draft picks in the first round. They got Marketing, who to me had a good rookie season. They got Levine, they got Dunn. So we'll see how that pans out. But yes, the 76ers have the best young team in the East so far that I've seen. But I'm out until next time.